All right, we're getting into now the politics of Mashujaa, some missing faces at the Mashujaa Day celebrations yesterday. And of course, we're in studio with Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua. He's also the Deputy Minority Leader in the Senate. Mambo ni mengi, but karibu.
Thank you very much. Happy to be back home.
Yeah, this is actually, we'll talk about that. He was here for 8 years at NMG. Huyu ni mwanahabari hodari, unajua. But before that, Janet will give you the quote of the day. And you can tell us if it says anything to you, if it speaks to you.
Yeah, absolutely. The quote of the day is by Raila Odinga. And he once said on March 9th, 2018, during the handshake announcement with President Kenyatta at the time, that Kenya is larger than any one individual, including myself. You remember him making that statement. How do you reflect on that statement alongside his legacy as well?
Thank you very much, Janet. It is indeed very true that this country is bigger than each one of us. In fact, a lot more bigger than all of us put together. One thing I like about that quote in the Raila Odinga context is that he lived it. He did not just say it, he lived it. He believed that this country was bigger and greater than him. He took actions that spoke louder than the words that he spoke about the greatness of this nation. So as we continue to mourn Baba, we must always be guided by that principle, that whatever it is that we do, then it will be incumbent on every one of us, not just leaders, every one of us, to put Kenya first. Thank you.
To put country before self. Yes. Before we get into the conversation with you, just based on that, are you concerned that that is a missing figure in politics right now, in leadership? Somebody who doesn't... Do you think we have people who put country before self?
Perhaps I should be seated on the judgment seat to be judged, not to judge. Because I'm a leader in this country, in my county and in this country, in the Senate. Perhaps I should have allowed people to make that judgment. But because you've asked the question, this is what I'll say. This country suffers a crisis of leadership. In fact, I would dare say, and I'm a leader in this country, that a lot of the problems that we face today are not about the people. It's about the leaders. If leaders lived up to the call and showed up for country, then this nation, this country would be in a better place. The biggest challenge that we have in leadership, especially political leadership, is that all of us, almost every one of us, is so keen on the next election that anything else, including country, is secondary. That's the problem.
The problem, it's a bitter truth. Just talking about you, because you, like you said, you're a national leader. You're the Deputy Minority Leader in the Senate. You're the Senator for Kitui County. You're not in your first term. You've been re-elected by the people of Kitui. When you wake up every morning, like this morning when you woke up, what's your decision-making like? I mean, do you see yourself wanting to live by these ideals of placing country, nation first before your own interests? And how do you translate that?
I will be honest and frank with you. Unless you can confirm with people that are close to me. The one thing that I do every morning is I kneel on the side of my bed and pray for my family and my country. That I do every day, wherever I am, whether I'm in the country or outside the country. Why? Because, Eric, the way I look at it, this country, we are maybe more than 60 million Kenyans. Very few of us, very insignificant percentage of the nation are given the responsibility to lead. Very, very few of us. And to be honest with you, it's not because we are any better than the rest of the people that are not in the positions that we are in. It's a very humbling thing for me to be in leadership. And it disturbs me a lot as a person. When I see people in leadership elevating themselves to levels of semi-gods, you know, and making decisions. Because, you know, when you're in leadership, you are supposed to make decisions for people who can't make that decisions for themselves. You make decisions for people, your decisions are binding on people. So it's very troubling when you see people make decisions that don't accrue benefits to the larger population. That everything that a political leader does, there's a nexus between that action and the next election.
It's always about
It's
that.
a big problem. It's a big problem.
Prayer is very personal. I'm just curious, when you do pray for Kenya, what's the one that every day that you still go back to God with? The prayer request for Kenya that every day, you're like, I know tuliomba jana.
But this one is still on the list.
Please, it's personal, I know. But if you can share that insight into, when you think about Kenya, what's that thing that burdens you about the country? Beyond the leadership.
This country is a great country. This country is endowed with a lot of resources. But those resources are not utilized for the benefit of the people in this generation and for future generations. I was having a conversation with people in my office last week. And this is a very sensitive issue. An issue that has capacity to make me not be elected into office. There's the issue of the mineral resources that are found in my county. Great mineral deposits that would, if properly utilized, would change not just the face of Kitui, but the face of this country. But they are not utilized. They are not exploited. A few people sneak in and they exploit the resources for very personal gain, just to make money. And the question that I posed to my staff last week is, how much longer shall we live in poverty and continue to sit on our resources?
We have the potential.
What conversation is this that needs to happen to unlock this potential? So one of the things that I pray God about is, one day, speak to us. That we know you have blessed us enough to be better. Bless us with leadership that can be trusted by the people to exploit these resources for the benefit of these people.
Thank you so much, Senator. I'm immediately wowed by the idea of these mineral resources. Tell us about what minerals are in Kitui, currently what mining goes on, what extraction goes on, is it legal, is it illegal, nile chini ya maji, who's benefiting?
Well, we have three major resources in Kitui. I think maybe four. We have very huge coal deposits in Kitui that would sustain real industries, I'm told experts say, for more than 50 years. We all know that the industrial revolution in Europe and in the Americas was energized by coal. There's argument all over the world that coal mining is disastrous to the environment. In the same conversation that the West throws to our faces about the use of DDT to control malaria because they are protecting their pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
I mean, technology being what it is, there must be clean and better ways of exploiting whatever mineral resource without causing danger to the environment and the public.
Right.
So there is that. There is copper. There is copper in Kitui. Large enough to sustain industries for many, many years. There is iron ore. In fact, in some parts of Kitui, iron ore is on the surface. You just collect like stones. Yeah. There's iron ore. There is limestone. Now, actually, a lot of cement factories are moving into that region to extract limestone, this manganese. Kitui is lies along the Mozambican belt. It's rich in mineral resources, but those resources have not been exploited for the benefit of the people. I don't blame the people. I don't even blame leadership. Maybe I just say the time has not come. Yeah.
The time isn't right. Mariam, just before you continue, you're good with numbers. What's our number? Because there's Jacob Munza has a question for his senator. He's in California.
Comments, but I'll repeat it for our listeners and of course for our viewers. Yeah, I commented on the YouTube comment section as well. 0719 038 858.
Okay.
So 0719 038 858. It'll appear at the bottom of your screen. But for our Nation FM listeners, Andika Sai 0719 038 858. Yeah.
When we open the phone lines, we'll welcome you to call in and speak. But let's get into now what we are seeing in terms of, this is leadership. This is people thinking not about the next election, but thinking about the nation and the people. Mashujaa Day is gazetted as a national celebration that Kenyans reflect on the heroes gone by and the current heroes, and also use this to nurture future heroes of the country. That we use this opportunity to reflect what's going on in our country and to use this opportunity to then develop our country. Yesterday, not by accident, but by discussions and design, these celebrations were held in Kitui. A new stadium was built, it was completed, leaders went there, the public was there. However, a majority of political leaders from the 3 Ukambani counties, led by Wiper Patriotic Front Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, and governors Wamvinya Ndeti of Machakos, Mutula Kilonzo Jr. of Makueni, the host senator is here, were conspicuously absent from this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations. The decision to skip from President Ruto from the national event drew sharp criticism from the president, who accused them of engaging in divisive and retrogressive politics. The president spoke. We are going to play a bite of the president with about Mashujaa Day and leaders skipping this particular celebration, and then we shall hear from the senator why he was among those that skipped it. Let's hear the president.
Maneno ya zamani ya kusema sijui bomwe, sijui betwe, Ukambani ikabaki nyuma, haitatendeka tena. Nasikia hata kuna wengine wanajaribu kueneza siasa ndogo ati maskini jeuri. Iko maskini jeuri ya kufanya nini? Hakuna umaskini itabaki hapa Ukambani. Tunataka tuungane, tushirikiane, tufanye kazi kwa pamoja.
It's not just the president who was concerned. Even some residents of Kitui were talking about, Why would our national leaders, whom we've elected, whom we've supported all these years, skip this event that has come historically to our home ground? Listen to some residents of Kitui.
Na kama represent sisi na sisi tumejileta. Sasa leo tumefanya direct representation of ourselves. Kwa hivyo tunataka rais asikie karibu nyumbani na tumemkaribisha azidi kuleta maendeleo na Kitui ni ngome yake na sisi tutamuunga mkono mpaka amalize muhula wake na akishamaliza muhula wake tutaangalia ile kazi amefanya ndio tutajua tutamrudisha ama vipi. Kwa sasa mambo ya one time two time hatuongei.
Sijaridhika na hiyo. Maana governor anafaa kuwa kuna wabunge wale wanamfuata. Tuwe hata sisi tunafurahia kuwaona pale, lakini hatujawaona. Inaonekana kuna shida mahali. Lakini sana unajua governor anafanya kazi na MCA. Si sana na wabunge. Wabunge huko juu. Lakini ni vyema hao wabunge kuja kwa sherehe kama hiyo. Hata Kalonzo wetu ndiye tunatarajia rais, hatujamuona. Hiyo si nzuri sana.
Kama sisi wenyewe tumewakilisha, mimi sioni kama kuna kuna shida yoyote ya wao kutofika. Mimi naona kama tumewakilisha kaunti yetu vizuri.
Okay, there are the people. Senator Enoch Wambua, why were you not at Ethokwe Stadium yesterday?
Thank you, Eric. It is true that I was not at Ethokwe yesterday. And it's not by accident that I did not find myself there. It's a conscious decision that I made. I was in Kitui last week. We had several rallies in at Kwabonza, then Kitui town, then my hometown in Kabati. We had accompanied our party leader and members of the United Opposition. And one of the things that speaking for myself, one of the things that I did in those rallies, I don't know whether you have those clips, I asked the people of Kitui to kindly excuse me from these celebrations. And they were very unanimous that I should not attend. For the reason, Eric and my colleagues, what role was I going to be playing at the event? Being the senator of Kitui and the deputy minority leader in the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, I would have expected that if my input was necessary for this event, I would have expected consultations prior to the event. I would have expected that the team organizing the event would have a sitting with the senator and say, this is what we're going to be doing, this is how we want you to help us, or this is how we want to help you, because it's not always that it's me helping them, they could also be helping me. I would have expected consultations prior to the event. That did not happen. It was not for me to go and tell anyone that I hear you are coming to Kitui, please allow me some space. No. It was for them to tell me we are coming to your county and this is what we expect you to do for us. That did not happen. To date, I have not received any invitation. Eric, by God's grace and the voice of the people of Kitui, I am an elected senator. I mean, I can be identified. Surely, somebody should have sent.
Isn't your presence alone significant without having to be part of a?
It's okay, but you know, it's also courtesy to invite people to events. It's also courtesy.
Ini siasa.
Of course, it's politics. It's a very political event.
You've been to previous Mashujaa Day celebrations, and okay, maybe not even Mashujaa, but yes, National Day. Whether it's Madaraka Day, whether it's Jamhuri, whether it's Mashujaa, Mazingira inanga nini, but you understand me. Have you ever received an invitation?
Yes, always.
You get an invitation and then you go.
I'm not saying that the invitation is the one that precipitates my attendance.
Yes.
I'm just saying, in the context that Eric asked, I'm the area senator.
Right.
Yeah. So my failure to attend yesterday is based on that fact that I am the area senator. I mean, I may not have been invited to another Mashujaa in another place. That's fine. I would go. I am the area senator. In fact, some people are telling me you are the host senator.
Yeah.
Which begs the question: how does someone invite you into your own home?
Yeah.
Because, as you're saying, I am supposed to be the host. So
you're then inviting them.
No. No.
Maybe when we come back from the
it
break.
wasn't your event.
It was not my
It's a
event.
national government event,
Yes.
but it is in your hometown, in
Yes.
your home turf, in your home county.
Yes.
So really, I don't know. I'm wondering what
What is the arm?
That's what I'm coming-
What is the arm in telling the area senator?
Yeah.
We are coming from Mashujaa. What is?
So there's no communication with the county government. There must have been.
But the county government is not the event. They are also invited to the event. This is a national event. Don't forget, this is not a Kitui event.
So it would say, we are coming and we
No,
invite you.
it will not be different from the one that you received any. It will it will just be an invitation to an event. But most importantly, going back to Eric, I am the area senator. For heaven's sake, you are coming to my county. Why can't we have a conversation about how you want me to play?
We're coming back, Senator. I know Emmanuel Templar is saying being the area senator at least required courtesy consultation. So I don't know whether that's what he's alluding to. He's agreeing to what he's saying. But we'll come back and continue this conversation. Yeah, because I think there's still more questions than answers.
We will answer all the
You've spoken, your honest truth.
Yes.
But I think it's in the interest of a lot of people to just understand why leadership from Kitui was missing. So continue to send your questions because it is coming up to 8:30. Senator Enoch Wambua is going to be answering some of your questions and continue to talk to us about Mashujaa, about Raila's legacy. And still, just when we come back, he's trying to understand in further detail why Kitui leadership did not attend Mashujaa Day celebrations. Stay with us, fixing the nation, one conversation at a time. Very well said. Emmanuel Templar, my understanding, if this was a UDA event, there'd be no need to consult the area senator. But for a national ceremony, put politics aside, keep the host senator in the loop, brief him, any kind, out of courtesy. Agri Momanyu says, courtesy demands that if I'm coming to your home, I must inform you and involve you in what I intend to do. Not invited, don't go. Late invitation, decline. That's my motto. Job Njiro, if not invited, don't go. The security protocol always reserves seats for invited guests only. So if the senator, angeketi wapi jameni, na hakualikwa na state.
Crowd.
Okay, interesting.
Itumbi Ngao on Facebook says, you want them to come and be humiliated, and he laughs. Pia Mashujaa is a holiday. It's not a duty. Thank you, very important.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe that's what we were trying to demystify, is that. Because I think before the break we were like, but Mariam was saying it's your home.
Yeah.
But
Just
maybe
go.
now we can demystify.
I also didn't know that other people, like everybody gets invites. I thought it's only how do I put this?
Non-residents.
Non-members of wale watu kiti kwa dais, but you're not necessarily a
like
mesh.
ambassador.
Yes, things like that.
No.
That's what.
This is a national event. Okay. This is a national event. It comes with protocols.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just don't walk in. In fact, what they're saying is very true. I have borne witness to situations where leaders go to events to which they are not invited. They have no place to sit. They have nobody to usher them in. In fact, I've seen some of them blocked from accessing the dais. Well, why do you want to go through that?
Yeah.
So why did this not happen?
Yeah.
So, because I just by answering that you were not invited, then we are also to assume that Kalonzo Musyoka, who is a son of Kitui County, was not invited. That former Governor Charity Ngilu, who did not attend, was not invited. We also assume that the neighboring governors of Makueni and Machakos were not invited, right? Why would that go like that?
Now, this is what happens. You know, leadership at the top, at times, it can also be very lonely. It can also be very frustrating if you surround yourself with people who just don't get it. You know, somebody needs to whisper to the president that there is a whole world of difference between UDA activities and national government engagements. Don't invite me to any UDA thing because I will not even read the letter. But for heaven's sake, when you're doing national events, consult me, because God and the people of Kitui have placed me at a position that I can be consulted. Let me be the one to decline the consultation, but do what is right. Consult me. I know that there were meetings prior to the event. I know that leaders were invited to these meetings to plan. I was not invited into that planning. And as Mariam was asking, maybe it's time to respond to her. If you're coming to my home, if you believe actually it is my home, and you're coming to my home, and you don't involve me in even agreeing on what is the best time for you to come to my home, what do you like eating? I mean, if it's my home, you're coming to my home. Then me, I wake up, I'm doing my thing at the farm, and I'm told, hey, Mariam is in the sitting room.
She's at the door.
Oh, she's already in the
She's already in the sitting room. How am I supposed to respond to that? I mean, how am I supposed to respond to that?
Was this a blunder then, or does it... I'm just trying to understand in the scheme of protocol and how to do things.
It was two things.
Blunder or gaff?
It was two things. But for me, it is two things. It's a blunder, a big one. But secondly, very cheap politics. Very cheap politics.
Can we say that this is a moment where then people are called upon to rise above? When they go low, we go high. They went low, all right? Kalonzo Musyoka wants to be the president of this country.
And he will be,
wants to be the next president of this country. Okay? Now, he and then ought to have risen higher. Turn up and come. Sit with the people if the diocese is locked. Sit with the people. But come out and indicate and say, I am here not because of the importance of being invited, but I am here because I understand the importance of this day to the country. And the spotlight been shown on my home county of Kitui today. That's why I'm here.
Good one. That's a very interesting conversation. Does Mashujaa...
interrupt you before you answer that one.
Okay.
Just be clear.
Yes.
It is opposition members who did not receive, or people in the united opposition who did not receive invitations to these Mashujaa Day celebrations.
I did not. So I don't know who else received.
Go on.
Yeah. So, Eric, so does Mashujaa Day, the celebration, the spirit of the day, does it acquire any different, deeper meaning to His Excellency Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka because it is happening in Kitui County? No. Mashujaa Day is Mashujaa Day. The spirit of the day remains irrespective of where that celebration is happening. Now, as fate would have it, this year's event is happening in Kitui County, the home of Kalonzo Musyoka, the home of Enoch Wambua. Now, These two are not part of the team being consulted or even being casually involved in the planning of the event. So now, Kalonzo Musyoka, because he comes from Kitui, now wakes up in the morning and decides, let me go for Mashujaa because it is in Kitui, because it is in my county.
Yes.
Eric, Kalonzo Musyoka is a national leader. And as I said, this event does not acquire any different meaning based on where it is happening. And if he went there, let me now be very blunt with you. If he went there, the disruption would have been in such magnitude that somebody would then accuse him of even sabotaging a national day. You know, it would have been easier, a lot more easier, if perhaps maybe his office, not him, his office was involved in the planning, so that even the people coming and hearing from him that, you know what, people, let's go to this event, let us accord the day, the dignity and honor that is due to it. Let us respect the president. He is the chief guest. Let's respect him and listen to him. We are coming there as hosts. We are hosting this event. Atutaki aibu nyumbani. You know, that would have made it a lot more easier for everyone, including the president himself.
So it wasn't a gaffe then that he wasn't invited? Because it would have disrupted his presence there.
No, I'm saying if he was invited and involved in the planning, if his office was involved in the planning, yeah, let's face it, that is his base.
Senator.
He has a way of speaking to his people.
Senator, the thousands of people that we saw on TV and in the photos that we have seen, none of them know whether you got invited or not. They did not receive an invitation card. They turned up. They knew it's in Ethiopian Stadium. They turned up. None of them would have known whether Kalonzo had been invited officially or not. They'd have just acknowledged that Kalonzo is here. The people who know all those background things, whether there's a card or not, there's a meeting or not, there's a phone call or not, are yourselves.
Okay, Eric,
So
you know, we
people,
learn every day.
Whether you turn up,
Yes.
whether Kalonzo turned up, they would have been like, yeah, Kalonzo, our son is also
That's
here.
okay.
Then they'd have come down
That's okay.
and listened to everybody else speak.
That's okay. You know, we learn every day. Now, let me correct you a bit.
Tell me.
The people that you saw there did not just turn up.
Okay.
The people were ferried. They were brought. I will repeat that. The people were ferried from all over Kitui and neighboring counties. They were brought there. So at least they had invitation.
Were they given an inducement to come? Did they come because, I mean,
Of
there's
course.
free transport being provided?
There's free transport and lunch.
So is that the reason they came?
It's not the reason that they came, but they had an invitation. They identified where utaenda. Utaingia kwa ile
There's
bus.
intention, yeah.
Wewe utaenda.
Iko na
utaingia
soda
kwa ile-
yako na lunch.
kuna lunch hapo na basi ndio hiyo. Itakupeleka na itakurudisha.
So there are people who would have wanted to be here, but they were not here.
Or there are people
You're saying if
who-
people were identified
Yes.
who to go, then obviously
no.
you're also saying
No, no,
there
no.
are people who
It's
are
not to say-
identified who not to go.
No. I have a lot of people here who called and said they came and told me to go, but if you're not going, I'm not going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't discriminate. Some of your supporters were also invited.
Of course.
They just chose not to go.
The people choose where to go, where not to go. Yeah. And actually, to be honest with you, Eric, I'm happy that the people of Kitui turned up and attended this event happening on their land. They received the president. Because you know what? Kalonzo Musyoka will soon be going to Sugoi. He also wants to be received in Sugoi and another part of this country. So we did not want to interfere in any way. Let them do their event today in Kitui. Tomorrow it will happen in another place. We will also do our events where we want to do our events.
I wonder what this says about like the tone of governance during this time of mourning.
Yeah.
That's kind of the question that I'm left with. What do you think it says about this?
It says two things. That to whom much is given, much is required from them. That's what it says. That we have one person that we call president in this country. When you're in that office, there is the only higher authority above the presidency is God. That's why I look at it. And so when you're there, it must make you feel very small, really. Because what else can you be? You are where you are. So it's incumbent on the person who occupies that office to set the tone and the pace of leadership in a country. That's why we say the presidency is a sign with a symbol of national stability. It is the responsibility to stabilize the country weighs a lot more heavily on the shoulders of the president than it does on another shoulder.
Very true.
Yeah.
I'm
And
still-
those aspiring to be president. I've got to bring in Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
not just anybody in this country.
It's not.
He is a senior politician.
Yes.
He's been in politics for this country over 40 years. He is not just anybody. He wants to be president. Then he also ought to show that if I were the president, I would hold this office and carry this office with utmost humility. And that's why I humble myself to the people. Mariam, you want to
So
add to-
I'm thinking through what that looks like realistically if you don't have an invite. And my question was actually on, I really do want to understand how these things are done as far as a national day is concerned. Who is invited? Where do they sit? Who is in charge of what office invites and decides who is coming, who is not? Are there automatic invite? Like, I have so many questions on that. But on yours, as far as Kalonzo Musyoka is concerned, I'm looking at it. I understand what the senator is saying, in the sense that if I show up and kawaida nakuanga hapo kwa dais, but there was no room for me, then what? We've disrupted Mashujaa Day. You
the
become
first
the
time
bad.
these politicians
You
have
become
done
the
these
bad
things.
guy.
Yeah.
If you go in and I think the actual PR move that would have been 10 over 10 is just going and sitting with the people. I do agree. And just unachukua kiti yako kama mwananchi mwingine and you enjoy your Mashujaa Day, because then you've made the people who didn't invite you look bad, because then you can say, you know, yeah, I didn't receive an invitation, but mimi kama mwananchi wa Kenya na kama resident wa Kitui, a son of Kitui, I had to attend. And then you win. Tick, tick, PR win. So that's it. But I'm really still very keenly...
Like, break it down.
Yeah,
Let me break it down for Mariam.
for other
Yes.
ceremonies.
Yeah,
kawaida,
let
how
me
does
break it down for you. We have an office in the office of the president on Arambe House, called the Government Reception Office. Now, that is the office that organizes protocols for state functions. It's the one that sends invites. So you have an invitation card. Then again, you also maybe have a car pass. You know, state functions, Mariam and Eric and Janet, state functions are state functions. They are not events that people just walk into.
Kamkunji.
Yeah. It's not a rally. You know, it's not a rally. I see attempts for people to make state functions also take the character of rallies. They are not rallies. A state function is a state function. It has protocol in it. There are sensitivities around it. Anything going wrong would mess an entire function.
Yeah.
So if an event is branded a state function, then it moves from ordinary planning and organization to details of protocol.
Yeah.
Who comes in, who sits where, which car parks where. In fact, In fact, and this is ridiculous, even who goes to what toilet?
Yeah.
Even toilets are designated.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a state function.
Security,
Yeah. So you don't walk into a state function if you are a leader at a national level. You just don't walk into a state function. There's established protocol, and your presence, if not planned for, would disrupt those protocols, and then it will turn it to a rally, not the state function that it was supposed to be. Now I'll give you another example.
Yeah.
You saw the other day, and may his soul rest in God's eternal peace and glory. You saw the other day when our majority leader in the National Assembly lost his father. Though it was not a state function, but it was a presidential function. So the president attended. Again, when a president attends an event, there are also protocols that go with it. So the president is there. It's in Kiambu County. The governor of Kiambu is present. He does not even get an opportunity to say Pole to the family. You know, you don't want those things
happening.
You don't want those things. It makes everyone. It makes leadership look
untidy. We have somebody who'd like to reply.
Can you desecrate that? Actually, we have the government spokesman, Dr. Isaac Mwaura. He's on the line, and he's going to respond to this. Government spokesman, Dr. Mwaura, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Thank you for speaking to us. You've been hearing, of course, you've been following what Senator Wambua has been saying. The leadership of Ukambani, some leadership of Ukambani was not invited to yesterday's event. Is this true?
Not at all, not at all. We actually had quite a number of leaders from Ukambani. Actually, they were quite a number.
But
sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Yes.
But Isaac?
Yes, I'm saying that we had quite a number of leaders from across Ukambani who were there present, quite a number, and the turnout was really good. What had happened is that there was confusion as to whether Mashujaa Day would continue, and that's why you saw me issuing a statement late on Saturday to clarify that we will be having Mashujaa Day at Ethokwe Stadium, and people should really also go to their headquarters across the country to eulogize Raila Odinga and other heroes. So there was that confusion. There was also demobilization by certain leaders so that people should not attend because they wanted to show that that is a flop. And also just to clarify that for members of parliament, of which I've been one, I've been a senator, I've been a National Assembly member, all members of parliament are invited. The cards are usually distributed by parliament itself. In fact, many of them end up being uncollected. But the leaders, especially from that region, of course, owe it to themselves to come and address the people, because when we have a national celebration, we are not there to do politics. We are there to do, to celebrate the day, and that's why we are rotating from one county to another. And it's really, really wonderful, sir, let me tell you, because when we go to a county, we are living very great developments. Now, if you look at Kitui, we have an airstrip, very well done. It's only the terminal building that is remaining. The terminus building that is remaining. We have a state lodge there, very nice. We have roads that have been refurbished and built. We have the Ethokwe Stadium, which is being completed after we finish, because it's not yet fully complete because of the time, but it's very good. You saw it yesterday. We were looking at the issue of energy. We actually were able to distribute 24,000 gas cylinders to homes.
Okay. That aside, Isaac,
yeah.
Was there a card printed and dispatched for Enoch Wambua?
Yeah.
Yes, there was, and that is on record for everyone. Nobody should claim that they were not invited. I think that's not being honest.
Where do such invitations go? When
they go to Parliament. They go to Parliament, they are collected in the Senate, and there is no hassle about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
that is exactly what happened.
Did you receive an invitation?
Eric, No, Maura is a former colleague of mine. I was actually with him on Sunday when we were going for the burial of His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. We met at the airport. Two things. One, let's also be very honest when we are on national TV, because you're also leaders. When you tell Kenyans that there was confusion as to whether Mashujaa Day was going to happen following the presidential proclamation of the days of mourning, that's exactly the things I was talking to you about. That the president would probably need to surround himself with a level of advice that would take this country forward. To imagine that a president, any president, can postpone a national holiday is to expect too much from a human being.
Okay, but let's, because
we're going there.
We have him on a short.
Yeah, sure. We're going there.
We're going into a break shortly.
Yes.
So just yes or no, did you receive
I did not receive an invitation. I did not receive
We the
an
people
invitation.
of Kenya have hired a PA for you.
Yes.
Did you ask your PA, who has access to your office in Parliament, whether such an invitation has gone to your office?
I don't need to ask my PA for any invitation. Every invitation that comes to my office, my PA brings it home or I get it from the office. I don't need to ask him.
Okay. Senator Mwaura, back to you. Was an invitation sent out to Kalonzo Musyoka, to the governor of Machakos County, to the governor of Makueni County, to the former governor of Kitui County, Charity Ngilu?
My brother, you saw the governor of Kitui, Malombe, was there.
Yes.
The deputy governor of Kitui was there. I was even sitting next to him at the presidential dais. You saw there were leaders even from Machakos, like Nguna, Charles Nguna. You saw people like Mwengi Mutuse, people like Beth Siengo, people like Rose Nyamai. The leaders were there from across the political divide. And so the people who refused to come to the Mashujaa Day, I think we need to ask of them to be patriotic and at some point to set aside political differences and celebrate and really emulate Right Honorable Raila Odinga, even when things were hostile. I remember him coming to Nyeri for the Mashujaa, for Jamhuri Day, even as we were going to the elections in 2016, and he was given a chance to speak by popular demand even. So I think let's just rise to the occasion and not try to create divisions and acrimony just to settle political scores. The government has no reason whatsoever not to invite anyone to Mashujaa Day. It's a national celebration. And also to finally say this, that the president has said 7 days of mourning. Mashujaa Day is part and has been part of mourning Raila Odinga as a Shujaa. And that is why, as his spokesperson, government spokesperson, I had to come out and clarify, because that confusion was being peddled by those who were demobilizing so that people don't show up at Itokwe. But it was successful. People came out in large numbers and they continue to benefit. And in 2 weeks' time, the president will be back in the region.
We have to go on a short break, but I need a yes or no from you. Were invites sent to Kalonzo Musyoka, to the governor, to Mutula Kilonzo Jr., to Charity Ngilu? Yes or no?
All the invites were done to all the leaders that are supposed to attend.
Let's take a break, please.
And that is a public event.
Yes.
Everyone should attend.
Mr. Mwaura, please stay on the line. We have to go into a break, but we do want to come back and just, get a yes or no. I think it's in the interest of the country that we don't have such diverse answers to something that could be a very simple yes or no. It's coming up to 9 a.m. We will still continue to stay in studio with Senator Enoch Wambua, Senator Kitui County, and Senate Deputy Minority Leader. We'll also try and see if we can have Isaac Mwaura, government spokesperson, still on the line, and then go into broader national conversations as well as Raila Odinga's legacy. Coming up to 9 a.m. Stay with us. We're back in a moment.
Yeah. Back into our conversation with Senator Enoch Wambua of Kitui County, the host who was not there to host yesterday at Mashujaa Day celebrations. And we were asking ourselves, these Ukambani top leaders were not present. The government spokesman was on the line, Dr. Isaac Mwaura. He's back on the line, and we'll be getting back to him. The president also noted that these leaders are not present, and he said, let's not politicize this event. He's not... Let's listen to the president again.
Maneno ya zamani ya kusema sijui bomwe, sijui betwe, Ukambani ikabaki nyuma, haitatendeka tena. Nasikia hata kuna wengine wanajaribu kueneza siasa ndogo ati maskini jeuri. Iko maskini jeuri ya kufanya nini? Hakuna umaskini itabaki hapa Ukambani. Tunataka tuungane, tushirikiane, tufanye kazi kwa pamoja.
Senator, what does Vomwe Petwe mean? What is this siasa umeleta Ukambani? Miaka yote unafanya Ukambani na baki nyuma.
You know, when you hear the president try to speak your language, then it must tell you that somebody has told him something. I don't know whoever told him what they said, but basically what he's saying is that there's a tradition among people that feel seriously disgruntled to say, so let it be, you know, we've had enough of this, let it be. I would have imagined that the person that spoke to the president would have helped him to find a way out, not to just restate the phrase.
We don't want to lose the government spokesperson. He's still on the line, just as we kind of conclude this matter, which I think we should soon. Azak Maura, you're back on the line, and I think just before the break, we had asked about specific people having been invited. We mentioned Charity Ngilu, Mutula Kilonzo, and Kalonzo Musyoka. Your answer was we invited all leaders. We still do not have specifics about those particular people, whether or not they were invited. I think it's important for us to just be clear and honest. So if you could please respond to that.
By the way, you know, Janet Mbogwa, Mashujaa Day is an open invite for every leader, every Kenyan, everyone who, everybody who walks of life to actually come and celebrate the heroes. And the reason why we have gone, from one region to another, is because even the production. If you look at the artists that were performing yesterday, they were largely from Kitui and Ukambani region. So really, to make really political statements and to create a wedge there around those who are not invited or not, really, I think it's not honest of those particular individuals. Because, this is an open invitation, specifically for those who are in parliament, for example. Those ones, there is always an invitation to every member of parliament. And there are even parliamentary orderlies to make sure that they are well seated and whatever. In fact, I was yesterday with a lady called Farhia from the Senate, trying to make sure that the senators are well taken care of. So basically, let's not try really to make it look like some people were unwanted in the ceremony. No, it's not true. That's totally not out. And why am I saying so? Because we had Wiper leaders there. The Wiper leaders were there. We had the governor, we had the deputy governor, we had members of parliament. Let's just move together in the spirit of unity, nationhood, and patriotism, as we were guided by Right Honorable Raila Odinga. May so rest in peace. And also further to it, Janet, you can see for sure the president has had a very elaborate program of the Lower Eastern region. Why not for what has happened, but we lost a great icon of our time. He was actually supposed to be in Ukambani, and there was a very elaborate program. And that is going to continue after 2 weeks. And all leaders are invited so that when we can work together, because that region is part of Kenya. And what the government is doing, we are making sure that all areas are developed. For example, by ensuring that people get what they deserve. That is why, for example, the Thwake Dam, now, an extra 9 billion is required to be able to finish. And the president has given a commitment by April, May next year, he shall be able to provide water for the region, for the 3 counties and beyond. And so therefore, fellow Kenyans and all of us who are listening to Fixing the Nation, let us just unite and move forward. We may have political differences. I know, yes, there is the opposition, that has in place Kalonzo Musyoka, our former vice president, whom we respect, and it's very good for him that he went to Bondo. He would have as well come to Mashujaa because that is his home county, and there's no reason whatsoever that he would not have, been, welcome. That's what he's the one who should have been receiving us as a government and as a former vice president.
Okay, just before you go, just a final question or comment.
No, it was just so that's clarity that you did invite former President Kalonzo Musyoka.
He did not.
Because I'll be honest, Dr. Mora, from what I'm hearing, what I know for a fact is that you're saying, courtesy of Senate and the Parliament, that Senator Enoch got an invite. Everybody else, it's an open invite. It's this sort, yeah.
But even for the senator,
it's a roundabout way.
It was an individualized invitation sent through Parliament. And the senator is saying he did not receive his individual invitation card as he has received previously for other state functions.
Okay.
You see, there's
a lot of back and forth. We'll let it rest.
I want to ask, you want
to ask something?
Yeah, okay. Because I have a message here from Ambassador Elkanah Odembo, who says the senator is making sense. Basic courtesy, even for a national day, requires that the government meaningfully, and he puts it in caps, involves and engages local leaders regardless of their political parties. Kitui was hosting Mashujaa Day. The Wiper leadership should have been involved in the organization of it. We've just laid to rest the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. It was a state funeral. There was a planning committee headed by the Deputy President and Dr. Buru Odinga. Provision was made for all MPs, all governors, all senators, right? So this was there. Dr. Mora, were the leaders, all the leaders of the Kitui County and Ukambani at large involved in the planning? We know that there was a meeting that was taking place in State House that brought in the leadership of Ukambani. Had all leaders been invited to that meeting? Was Senator Enoch Wambua, the senator for Kitui County, were the senators for Makueni, for Machakos, and the governors and the MPs, all of them invited to this meeting?
Continue to be invited, but you see, it's now the decision of a leader not to attend and then come out and say that they were not invited. I think sometimes we need to be honest, because people want to settle political scores. There is no reason whatsoever not to invite, and that has always been the standard procedure. And most of the time when we are doing these things, even when we are going to an area that may be considered not to be supporting government of the day of the party, this is a national celebration. This has nothing to do with the political overtones. That was not a political rally. That was a national celebration. No politics were discussed. We just had the president address the nation from Kitui. And we even had international guests like the president of Senegal, the prime minister from Mozambique, and Maria. So that is it. I mean, let's really try to understand.
Okay, Dr. Mora. I think the final word will come from your friend and former colleague.
Yes.
Senator Enoch.
Yes. Eric, Janet, Mariam, you have your answer. Kenyans have the answer. There was no invitation. It's as simple as that. You know, Senator Mora, my friend, is saying sometimes we need to be honest. I want to correct him. We must be honest all the time. All the time. I mean, and let's not make this a conversation about Kalonzo Musyoka or Enoch Wambua. This is a state event, as I said, with attendant protocols. Let us just admit that those protocols were breached and learn from that and move on to the next state event. I have so much to say about that conversation and the inability of my friend, my brother, to provide a yes or no answer to very straightforward questions. But let's just leave it so that we can discuss other things.
So, Asante. We move on to the many things that the president also spoke about. In his off-the-cuff remarks, he went on to say, I was meant to be here so we can go around Kitui County and the wider Ukambani region, looking and talking about the development needs of the region and seeing what we can respond to. But I'll also be back in 2 weeks' time. Meanwhile, let me tell you about some of these pending projects that have been there. He talked about the Enzio Bridge, which is in Kitui County. This is a bridge where mourners were going for a funeral and they died. They were swept away by floods of this bridge. There was a promise that was 2021. To date, that bridge not completed. And the president said, we are going to deal with that. He also talked about the Kamuongo Kandoiwa Road, the Choloni Chombe Road. He talked about the Kibwezi Mwingi Road and completing it and extending it all the way to Mwingi finally. And he says, you know what, nimepata pesa iko hapa, tutamalizia. Let's listen to some of those promises that the president was making there, and then the host senator again who will respond to that.
Nyinyi mnajua tumepoteza watu wengi vile governor alivyosema pale Enziu Bridge. Hiyo daraja imekuwa daraja ya maafa. Mimi nataka niwaeleze sasa watu wa Ukambani, waziri yuko hapa, nimempatia maagizo na nimesema kabla ya Februari mvua ianze mwaka ujao, hiyo daraja iwe imekamilika. Mnajua kuna barabara ilikwama kule Mwingi, ile barabara ya kutoka Kamuongo kwenda Kandwiwa. Hiyo barabara vile vile sasa tuko na pesa ya kukamilisha section ambayo ilikuwa imekwama pale. Viongozi wetu hapa walituuliza ya kwamba kuna barabara ingine ya kutoka Chuluni kwenda Zombe mpaka Mwitika. Hiyo barabara vile vile sasa tuko na contractor na tutawajengea hiyo barabara, kwa sababu tunataka tuhakikishe watu wa Kitui East, na mimi najua mbunge wenu Bwana Nimrod Mbai yuko hapa, ni mtu msumbufu sana, ananiuliza hii barabara kila mwaka. Our third critical area of focus is infrastructure development. Again, Baba, who also served as a Minister for Roads and Public Works and Housing under the late President Kibaki, often reminded me that no economy can flourish without world-class infrastructure. To some, these projects may seem too ambitious, perhaps even out of reach. But this is precisely where bold, visionary, and heroic leadership comes into play, the kind that Raila Odinga embodied. Umesikia kiongozi wamesema ya kwamba pia umadam. Hii umadam ilianzishwa miaka 15 iliyopita. Sasa hii ni aibu kidogo. Hii dam jameni, mimi nataka tumalize hii dam by next year, hata kama haijafika mwezi wa 4 tumalize hiyo dam. Hii dam haiwezi kuwa inajengwa watoto watazeeka tukijenga hiyo dam. Kwa hivyo mimi nimemwambia waziri, na waziri yuko hapa, Bwana Muridhi, mambo ya hiyo dam, whatever it takes, we must get the resources and complete that dam, kwa sababu watu wa Kitui wanahitaji maji kutoka dam hiyo ya hapo Uma. Mnajua tuko na dam kubwa hapa Thwake, na hiyo dam imejengwa muda mrefu. Mimi sasa nataka niwatangazia kwamba tumepata pesa bilioni 9 ya kukamilisha hiyo dam ya Thwake. By April, May next year, that dam will be complete, na itasaidia watu wa Kitui, watu wa Makueni na watu wa Machakos.
You're saying that between now and April next year.
Tuko na dam, wait, wacha niangalie. Tuko na barabara, tuko na dam 2. Actually yes, barabara na dam.
Barabara ni kadhaa.
Barabara kuna Kibwezi. Okay, see, I can't remember all of them. Ni kadha wa kadha. Yes. Big things happening in the next 6 months.
And a bridge that should have been completed
years ago,
5 years ago. Because even by the time this accident was taking place, it was an incomplete bridge.
Yes.
Right? And the then government pledged that this accident happened, I think, in December, if I remember correct, Senator?
Yes.
The government, the PS went there for infrastructure and said by February, by the way, complete. Omonde! President, the same thing. Wallahi, by February, we shall complete this project. It's a government of the Republic of Kenya. Okay? Whether it's the president was Uhuru Kenyatta or William Ruto, the people who use that bridge are the same people who need the services from their government.
Yes.
Okay? Now, there's something when you talk about the big infrastructure project of Makueni County, the Thwake Dam, that's also started. The ideation started in Kibaki, construction started in Uhuru. It's not yet completed. When you had anyway.
You know when
this matter was brought before the senator.
When the president laughs and he's like, I ain't able 15 years. And then he was in power for 10 of those years. He was deputy president.
You're just saying, so amejichekelea kiasi.
But let's listen to Senator Enoch Wambua responding to the issue of Thwake Dam in front of the Cabinet Secretary, when the Cabinet Secretary for Water had come to Parliament. And this is what the Senator raised, and then we shall come into this conversation.
You know, the CS, you say this is the first time here, but just relax, the CS. You're double speaking. Double speaking because on the one hand, you're saying that the ADB, give me a response, written response. The ADB is evaluating the financing gap. The second side of your mouth, you're saying the contractor has been instructed by 25th of February to be back on site. Speaker, if my calendar serves me right, we are past the 25th of February. I think this is when? This is 13th, 12th of March. So I expect that the machines are rolling. If the machines are not rolling in Thwake, the Speaker, then again, maybe you may also decide again for this question to stand down the CS. Because in his own submission, on the 25th of February, works should have resumed in Thwake Dam. On the 12th of March, if that has not happened, then he should either, revise his response or explain what has happened. The Speaker, lastly, the Speaker, what is the connection between the war in Ukraine and a dam being constructed in Thwake, in Makueni and Kitui counties? The distance from Thwake Dam to Kyiv in Ukraine is 9,177 kilometers. What's the connection? What's the nexus with the Speaker?
Before he comes back and speaks to the questions you've raised, did you ever get a response? You asked him, what is the nexus between Ukraine? And he came back and said something along the lines of global matters affect across. Were you satisfied with the response?
No, of course I was not.
Okay.
Of course I was not. And because that was not my question, I'm only allowed, by our standing orders, I'm only allowed one supplementary question. So I cannot dig further. So, but the answer that he gave was laughable.
Okay.
Yeah, he actually complicated the thing further because he said it's a global market for explosives.
Yes, he said that. He did say that.
So, a lot of explosives come from I don't know, Ukraine or Russia. And so, but you see, the time we are speaking, the dam is past the use of explosives. Use explosives when you're digging. The dam is way past digging.
So it doesn't make sense. But yeah, there's a few questions that have been asked.
It's what? We're in October. So it is out 7 months later.
Yes.
Is the dam complete?
No.
And that's why the president is talking about it.
Yes.
So why?
Now, a few things about Thwake Dam. And I wish we would have time. Maybe we wouldn't have the time to go through all this. But Thwake Dam, first of all, it must be appreciated as a Vision 2030 project. We started in March 2018. The benefits are supposed to accrue to people of the region, Ukambani, Kitui, Machakos, Makueni, a multi-purpose dam to irrigate over 40,000 hectares of land. So it speaks to food security and produce 20 megawatts of hydropower into the national grid. It's a major project. Now, the completion date for this dam is a perfect example of moving targets. It moves every year. The completion date moves every year. In October 2023, then CS Njeru for water gave December 2023 as a completion date for the dam. In October 2024, more than a year after the first promise of completion, CS Muga, the current CS, gave June this year as the completion date for the dam. In September of this year, 4 months or 5 months after the expiry of the date given, PS Omolo talked of its It's nearing completion. This thing is just about to be completed.
October.
That was in September of this year.
Okay.
It's nearing completion.
4 months after the completion date of June.
Now, yesterday,
we're nearing completion.
Yesterday, the president gave us a new date. He's not very sure, maybe April, May. And he talks about he has gotten money, 9 billion. Janet, Eric, Mariam. Governments run with budgets. Governments run with development plans. You don't do things out of the plan because that will be serious. That will be chaos. I don't know who will come from which planet to give us a date for the completion of the Thwake Dam that we shall believe and wait in anticipation. I am not a prophet of doom. I will not be surprised if by April next year we get another
new
date.
Completion date.
Yes.
You know, all these projects, like the president is talking about, all these are projects that have stalled, were supposed to have been completed, and they are not completed. None of the projects that he was talking about yesterday are projects that you are launching. It's things that have been there on the line for a while.
Yes.
The government spokesman is still on the line, and we'll like to let him go. But you can respond to this, Dr. Mwaura. You know, all these projects that, you know, start, completion dates come, and they pass, government budgets come, annual, you know, plans come and they go. What does the government have to say about this? Is it poor planning, poor management, or just incompetence? Dr. Mwaura, you're on the line.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, so what is it? What would you say?
Yeah. So two things. First and foremost is the issue of liquidity, because there has been a challenge there. And it's good to be honest about it. And so therefore, we are exploring, you know, ways in which we can finance some of these projects away from the exchequer. For example, now there's a very clear outlay of how to do the 50 dams that the president has spoken about, pronounced himself about, you know, using monies from the market. Just the same way we were able to get back the road contractors back by securitizing the RMLF fuel levy, and we were able to get 175 billion from the Trade Development Bank. That really has been a game changer. In the same manner, we want to do the same, because what we did initially, and it's good for Kenyans to understand, is that we were not able to. We had an expression of interest to do the 100 dams that we promised when we came to government, but then we didn't get good offers from the people, the PPPs. I think we got about 35, but now we are trying to look at how we can securitize the resources that we already are getting from the already existing water resources, so that then we are able to get about 100 billion. And then out of that, then we'll be able to complete this project. Because the president has been very clear on 3 issues. If Kenya has moved into a first world, first we must be able to deal with the issue of food security, so that then we are able to not to import 500 billion worth of food. And that can only happen if we have huge mega dams, just like the way Ethiopia has done recently, and produce electricity about 10,000 megawatts in terms of renewable energy, including nuclear, and of course the issue of infrastructure. So we are very clear on that. So yes, I agree. But then the issue of liquidity and budget challenges, because that whole development requires about 1.5 trillion. So we are going to be looking into that, and that is why we are coming up with the National Infrastructure Fund. Number 2, of course, obviously, is the issue of contractors, some of them not doing their work very well, and of course, delaying. But we will be up to speed, up to scale. Already you can hear the Thwake Dam, we know the amount of money required, so that then we can move forward. But generally, you will see for sure, we made a lot of progress, and a lot of development projects shall be launched from market, and all that, when the president is going around the counties. So just to assure, because Enoch Wambua is a senator, that yes, when you're in government, it's good to face the reality that is there, but we are fully committed to ensuring that we deliver on the promises to our people.
You know, for the people.
Before he goes, because he has said something that really, if I don't respond, then my colleagues will wonder what kind of leader I am. Senator Maura, my brother, my friend, let the national government stay clear of markets in counties. That is not their responsibility. That is a devolved function. And if then there is a feeling on the part of the national government that there is need for more investment in markets, then let us devolve more funds to the markets and let county governors take full responsibility for the construction of markets. The national government must focus on the assignments given to it under Schedule 4 of the Constitution, Part 1. Thank you.
One of the things that Bakari is actually raising here, the late Raila urged the government to dissolve the agencies like Kura and Kera. Some of these roads that the president was pledging here,
and I'm coming there.
Under Kura and Kera, right? And
allow me, Eric.
Yes.
Allow me, Eric.
Yeah.
If President Ruto, and I don't doubt him, if truly he believes in honoring Raila Amolo Odinga, one of the things that Mzee was very, very particular about was that Kenha and Kura have no role after devolution. He was responsible for the creation of those agencies when he was Minister for Roads, to ease, development of funds to local roads so that, construction can happen. There are only two classes of roads today: county roads and national trunk roads. Kera, Kura, and Kenha.
Kera.
Kera is okay. Kera.
Kenha is the national
highways.
Yes.
No role.
Kera, Kenya Rural Roads.
Yes, rural, and the Kura, Kenya Urban Rural Roads Authority. All these roads belong to counties.
You're saying even Kenha?
Kenha?
Kenya National Highways Authority.
Yes, that is okay.
Yes.
That one's okay. Because that's one that deals with the national trunk roads.
Yes.
But Kura and Kera, they are working on roads belonging to county governments. And that's why Raila was very particular. Devolve at least 45% of revenues collected nationally to county governments, so that county governments have capacity to undertake the functions assigned to them under Part 2 of Schedule 4 of the Constitution, including those roads.
If we look at these ones, for example, the Enzio Bridge, that road, that's not a national trunk road, is it?
No, it is not.
Okay. The Kamuongo Kandoa Road, Kanduiwa.
Well, if you look at it as part of the road connecting Makueni, Kitui, Meru, Isiolo, Marsabit, Ethiopia, then it becomes
part of the trunk road.
Actually an international road.
Okay.
But the section that the president is talking about, Kamuongo to Kandria, actually short section. There's a bigger section from Kandria, now going to Katse, Tharaka, Meru, all the way. So the question that you asked, Senator Maura, that would be a greenfield. That would be a new project.
Altogether.
That would make a lot of sense. The rest of the things that he's talking about, I'm not saying they don't make sense, but I'm saying that it's work in progress. And because I said we are learning, and I'm also learning, all of us learn every day. The president is saying that before the rains begin in February, the Enzio River project will be completed. Mr. President, in February, we don't have rains in Kitui. The rains are here. They are coming now this month. And by December, they are gone.
Yeah,
February is a very dry
Urbanas was saying we have
so they would rather complete now before the rains begin.
We have rainfall season running from October to December.
Yes.
Ukambani.
Yes.
The bridge cannot be constructed during the rains. We've never had rains in Ukambani in February.
Thank you.
That is true.
My big question here is there's a planning issue.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering where the
gap
competencies come in. And I don't know whether, Maura, you're still on the line. I want to ask that question. I mean, you've been a senator, you've been a member of parliament. Is it a competence issue when you start a project and then you run out of cash? What had you foreseen?
Right.
when you're running out of cash on a project midway, and now you have to go and look for other ways of mobilizing money. Because let's not mix issues. There's a new project, there's a new plan of the mega dams and the PPPs and all those for mega dams. Thwake Dam was started with a plan in place and a financing plan in place.
Right.
How can it just go into all those many financial years beyond completion and we're still not completed? And all these other roads that we're talking about.
You know,
so
Eric,
where are the gaps?
You know, Eric, let's just, when we get these opportunities, let's also speak truth through power. I have said many times, I will repeat it on your show. I'm the least qualified to advise the president on anything. Least qualified. But I believe that this country has really a wealth of objective advice that the president can consume and take us to the next level. It is one thing to say you want Kenya to move to the first world. But if you do things that world, how do you get to first world? Why are we in Kitui? Because it was in Kitui yesterday. There's a legend. People talk. This lady who goes to the bush to collect firewood, So she collects firewood. They tie the rope, and then they cut it on the back. So she tries to lift it, realizes that it's too heavy. She can't lift it. What's the natural thing to do?
Reduce the load.
Reduce the load, right?
Yeah.
But this lady goes back and adds more, tries to lift. She actually falls. We are already where we are, and you're not blaming anyone. Who has placed a gun on the head of our president that he must promise more projects when we have so much that needs to be done?
The people have given pressure.
What pressure?
So to answer Eric's question, it's incompetence, poor planning. Is it all of the above?
For me, it's where we started. Who has the president allowed near him to advise him on two things? One, public speaking, because that's important. When the president speaks, the president has spoken. Eric, you and I can say whatever we want to say, and people say, wachana now. When the president speaks, the president has spoken. So who is advising the president on what to say in public, and who is advising the president on the development agenda of this country?
And
because for me,
is he listening to the advice?
That would be
no, that's the other thing. Yeah. Maybe he only listens to himself. I don't know. But what I would say is, you cannot say that in this country we don't have people that can advise the president.
Can give proper.
Maura, let's say conclude. In the darkest days of the Moi administration, and we were here. Not many, but maybe you were there.
Yeah,
sure.
Small, but there.
Well, small, but there. So we were here, and even in the worst of situations, because we were in the newsrooms, you would get stories about companies that have been blacklisted because of doing shoddy jobs. When is the last time that you people in this newsroom report about any company that has been blacklisted for doing shoddy jobs? It's like people are actually being rewarded for doing shoddy jobs. We need to wake up.
Janet said, when you asked to put a gun to the president's head, just like the people, essentially. Are you saying there was if President William Ruto had come and said, maybe Thwake alone, because this has been it's been 15 years in the making, right? But spoke of nothing else, would the people of Kitui have been okay? Very happy.
Promise what there is one thing I said. That clip, I'm very sure you don't have that. When I went to ask the people of Kitui to allow me not to attend Mashujaa, I said, we invite the president, we welcome him to Kitui with open arms, and I told the people, please receive the president well. There are certain things I say the president should not do when he comes to Kitui, and that's one of the things that I said. We don't want promises. Don't come to promise us what you will do. Come with answers. Tell us that I have done this, and I've done this. Whatever else you plan to do, when you do it, we will see. Don't tell us. Because in most cases, then it turns out that the things that then he says will happen, then don't happen. There are specific things that I had asked the president to do for and on behalf of the people of our region. Like we feel as a community, and that's where I come from. I'm a leader of my people, elected by my people. We feel that as a community, this administration has targeted our people from our community, for expulsion from jobs. People have been fired left, right, and center. Senior positions, no replacements. And I gave 4 good examples. I said, the boss of the NCPB, National Citizen Produce Board, Joseph Kimote, was forced out during the allegations of corruption around the fertilizer issue.
Yeah.
I know from where I sit, and I'm very happy that the court has vindicated my position, that Kimote was innocent. The people that were involved in that fertilizer thing are known, and Kimote was not one of them. He was fired as a boss of NCPB. Penina Malonza, we all know. Penina Malonza was a cabinet secretary. And I've said many times, she doesn't belong to my political party. We don't share a political ideology. But she's our daughter. She comes from our region. She was given a job as CS, East African Community, then later tourism. When there was a reshuffle, was it a dissolution of the cabinet? She lost her job. She was not given another job. Our colleagues who lost their ministerial positions, who are also my very good friends, Aisha Juma, Eliud Owalo, Moses Kuria, they were given other jobs. Why not give Penina Malonza a job to do? You had elevated her to the position of CS. You just drop her down. Like, I mean, really? I gave the example of Pamela Nduko Mutua. Our matter is still in court. The KNTC, Kenya National Trading Company. She was forced out, no replacement. And now the other week, just a few weeks ago, a man who has given his entire life in the service of this country as the MD for Ketraco, one John Mativo, a man who has done 35 years of service. He is an engineer. He's pushed out a few months to his retirement. So what happens to him? He loses 35 years of service, just like that. Yeah. And what is the excuse? There's a transformer. A transformer, not transformers, a transformer that I don't know he mismanaged. Really? We were in this country when thousands of transformers were imported into the country. And every time there was an attempt to connect them to the national grid, they blew up. The MD stayed in office.
Do you know who replaced all these people?
They were replaced by Kenyans. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Because I don't want to be seen like I'm pushing a certain agenda. But these guys who
what you're saying
were
is that
fired,
these were competent people.
Competent people.
But they were unfairly removed from office.
From office. And for me, I believe, as their leader, I believe the only reason why they are removed and not replaced is because they are campers. That's what I believe.
Really?
You say you don't want to push.
Why?
That's a big statement to make.
It is.
Well, there are many
it's
other
that big.
campers who've been appointed and who are still serving in government.
Give
Why
me
these
those,
particular campers?
I don't know. The people firing them should be telling us.
You're talking about cabinet secretaries. I'll tell you, we have cabinet secretaries who are,
How many?
Who are still in office.
How many?
We have Dr. Mutua. We have PSs from Kitui. Right?
How many cabinet secretaries?
How many cabinet secretaries? From the Kamba region? One.
Okay, thank you.
How many? Because you would have said the same thing. For example, when we had a reshuffle at the, in the leadership of the East African community, somebody who was from the Ukambani region was their Secretary General. Was removed. He's now the ambassador for Moscow. In Moscow, right?
Yes.
But the person who replaced was also a person from Ukambani. How come you're not mentioning that?
Because and I also want Kenyans to understand this. For me, as a leader in the opposition, it is not my business at all. It's not contemplated anywhere in the constitution, in laws, for me to sing praises to the president or the government when they do the right thing. My duty is, even when he does the right thing, to tell him he can do better. That's my work. Yeah.
We have about 3 minutes of time. You wanted to ask something?
Just
or to reflect
this,
on
what makes you think it is because they are Kamba? Like I'm still trying to understand that. Yeah.
Because
unless you're willing to thread. So here's my thing. I think you either go the full way,
Or
which is
walk
you
back.
give us the replacements, and then we can thread and see 1 + 1 = 2, or
no, I will speak. I will speak for my community, anywhere in any situation. You know, there were these narratives that, you know, even the Kamba people are in government. You see? So every time we say, you know, what, we are taxpayers, we belong. Geographically, we belong. Economically, we belong. We are told, but, you know, your people are here. So now the people that were being paraded and being told your people are in government, they are being removed one by one. So we are saying, unless then you want to correct your own narrative and say that we are not part of the common bond, then we can have that conversation. But to the extent that you remove the people that you told us are our face in the government, yes, then you must do a complete change of your own narrative. Tell us, you guys, you know, this is where you belong, so be contented with where you belong.
I feel like if we open this can of worms, we will tread on everybody's representation view, which I don't want to invalidate it, but because there's a validity from where he comes from, but also there's other factors that will make the math.
But you know, Janet, to be honest, only one person is supposed to speak by law, by constitution, for all of us.
Right.
That's the president, right? He's supposed to speak for all of us. The work of the senator in Article 96 of the Constitution, the first responsibility that I'm given in the Constitution is to protect the interests of my county and my government.
And my people.
That is my responsibility.
That's okay, Senator.
And every senator has that responsibility to say, hey, you have fired my people, return them to office. What the president does with that is his business.
Lakini Senator, si nyinyi ndio mlitoa Rigathi sababu ya kuongea hivi? Vile unaongea sasa.
I did not. And I wish we at the time you look at you ran my clip why I said I would not vote to remove Rigathi Gachagua. I said the foundational document establishing the Kenya Kwanza administration is a document that speaks to shareholding. So what Rigathi Gachagua was doing was just
reading his manifesto.
He was actually doing his job, being the principal assistant to the president.
Okay.
He was just amplifying the position that the president and those other shareholders in their government had agreed on.
So you had no problem with him talking about
absolutely.
Murima.
If you are going to have a problem, I have a problem with the foundational document of Kenya Kwanza. That's where the problem is. Not the person who tells you what we agreed on.
Let's leave it at that for now. I was going to ask you one word to describe Raila's legacy, but now time is up.
Oh my goodness.
One word. In 10 seconds.
In 10 seconds?
Yes.
A great man.
Okay.
A man that we, all of us, including myself, will emulate. And I want to tell Baba as he sleeps in peace that the struggle continues.
Struggle continues.